As Lucifer was flying down, he heard about the battle, and he had to save his daughter. He was hesitant about the hotel, about redeeming sinners, but even if he agreed with it or not, this was his daughter and he must protect her. However, he was too late. As he flew in, he saw Charlie laying there dead, as Adam laughed. Fucking bitch. She deserved it. Such a stupid cunt. Thought she could revive sinners. Lucifer would walk. He wouldn't run. He wouldn't scream. He would simply pick up Charlie as he cried. Lucifer hasn't cried in a long, long time. Even though he was depressed, even though he had anguish, even though he had anxiety, he held it all back. But he let all of his emotions go. He failed his daughter. He wasn't there for her. It was his fault she died. It was his fault she perished. As the ground began to shake, Lucifer's wings began to grow out. As his teeth extended, his eyes turned red. Anger filled every part of his body. As Lucifer looked straight at Adam, Adam would look straight at him. As Adam just laughed. "Aw, you're sad your little daughter died. Pathetic little thing. She looked up to you a lot, though. She called your name right before she died. She was wondering where you were. How's it feel to be a failure? How's it feel to fail humanity, to fail hell, and to fail your own daughter? You didn't even support her dream. Now you have to watch her die. And because of this little agreement, I have diplomatic." Suddenly, Lucifer would simply punch him as he got up and said, "The agreement said, I don't give a shit about a dumb agreement. You attacked my daughter. That ended the agreement. Now I'm gonna end your pathetic life, and Extermination Day will never happen again. I don't care if we have to go to war with heaven itself. This will never happen. You'll die for nothing." Adam would look at Lucifer as he said, "You're such a dumbass. You really think you can do this? You really think you can just kill us all? This will mean war on hell. This will mean all of hell will be destroyed." Lucifer says, "I don't care. You should have thought about that before you killed my daughter. You don't care about hell. You don't care about heaven. All you care about is showing off and proving how much of a man you are. Well, real men don't kill people's daughters. Real men don't slaughter innocents. And real men don't act like petty pricks." As the angels surrounded Lucifer, Lucifer would simply blink as a light of divine magic would appear. As all of the angels would fall down, their skin melted as it turned into liquid. Lut would charge at Lucifer, but he would simply charge, cutting off her head, killing her instantly. As Adam tried to fly away, Lucifer would appear above him and kick him down into the ground. Vaggie would look on, angry, as she was gonna kill him, destroy him, make him suffer, just like he made her suffer. But then Lucifer stopped her. "Let's share this. We both loved her. I'll take one limb, then you'll take another, and we'll go on until this bastard dies." Adam would look up and say, wait, I'm sorry, But then Lucifer would cut off one of his hands, as Vaggie would cut off the other hand. He would then begin to cry and scream out in pain. She would cut off one foot, and he would cut off the other foot. This was not what Charlie wanted. But how could they do this? How could they be the bigger man? How could they believe in what she believed in when she died fighting for it? When everything she believed in was hopeless. It was destroyed right in front of them. They will make Adam pay for this, killing the sweetest person in hell, the person who always believed in everyone and looked for the best in people. As they chopped off limb after limb, Adam would bleed out and die. As Adam died, everyone looked down, depressed. It seemed like it was over. It seemed like they lost. But little did they know, Charlie was right, as suddenly Sir Pentious would appear in heaven. Lucifer would call for a meeting immediately, as he would call Sarah, and demand that they end this extermination, or war will be declared, and he will invade heaven. Such an invasion will definitely get God's attention, and will not end up well for either one of them. However, Lucifer didn't care. He wanted to make them pay. He wanted to make them suffer, and he would make heaven bleed, even if it meant ending his life, and it would mean all of hell being destroyed. He would make God pay for this little petty extermination he let happen. And Sarah would sigh and say, "Understood. I'll have a meeting with you tomorrow." As she looked at Sir Pinchus. Emily would say, "I think it's time, Sarah. It's time we stop this. It's time we stop the extermination." A sinner was redeemed, Charlie was destroyed, and Lucifer is attempting to launch an invasion of heaven. Not to mention that all of our exorcists are dead. Heaven is vulnerable. They are easy to be attacked. Sure, they could probably repel it, but it would cost lots of lives, and lots of heaven would be destroyed. Not to mention that it's been proven that sinners could be redeemed, and that wiping them out is not the only solution. Sarah would think about this as she told Emily to go back. "I'll have a trial with everyone, and the council will decide." Emily would say, "You're the council, not the others." Sarah would say, "Silence," as she would sigh and walk off. Sarah knew what she had to do. She could not let this happen. Sinners were evil, disgusting, vile creatures. Letting them into heaven? This is unsafe. This must be a mistake, a divine mistake. This couldn't be allowed to exist. She knew what she had to do. There was only one card left to play. As she would walk towards Lilith, "Enjoying your time in heaven?" Lilith would look up and say, "What do you want? I already leaked secrets, convinced him to let the exorcist go down. I've already done all your dirty work." "No, you haven't. He's going to attack heaven. He's going to get us all killed, unless you can convince him otherwise. Use your beauty, use your charm, marry him again, do whatever you need to, stop that from happening. And you could visit on weekends or something." Lilith didn't really like this idea, but it's not like she had a choice, as she said fine, as she got up and decided to go back down to Earth. She would even call Alistair down to help her. As days would pass, tomorrow would be the meeting. Sarah did not want Lucifer to show up. If he didn't show up, he wouldn't be taken seriously. If he wasn't taken seriously, then she can just sweep all this under the rug, build a new exorcist army, and continue going. And if he didn't even show up to the meeting, he didn't even try to resolve things peacefully. He would be too ashamed to go to war with heaven. And his credibility would be so low, even if he tried, some princes might try to stop him. It was going to be foolproof. And he hasn't seen Lilith for so long, she can easily manipulate him, just like he manipulated her all those years ago. As Lilith showed up, Lucifer would be overjoyed and hug her. I'm glad you're here, but our daughter," she would say, "I know." She would sigh. To be honest, she didn't really care that much about Charlie. Sure, she gave birth to her, but she wasn't elegant or beautiful like her, or like a girl should be. She was the perfect woman, Lilith, and she was not going to let a man define her, or even let her own daughter drag her under from paradise. As she would pretend to fall in love with him again, the night would be beautiful. Tomorrow would be the meeting. As things were going well, a cabin was set, flowers were rung down, but then Lucifer would notice something. She came back rather suspiciously, as Lucifer would look and say, "Did you even love our daughter?" "Of course I did." Lucifer would look and she would sigh. "Oh, carrying that baby was such a bore. I didn't look pretty at all when I was pregnant. Besides, she grew up to be such a Lucifer would then shove her out of the cabin. "I hate you. You took her away from me. You made it so I didn't grow close to her, and now she's dead, and I'll never get that time back. Screw you!" As then Lucifer would show up to the meeting. Sarah was hoping Lucifer wouldn't show up, but he did, and he began to make a good argument. Sir Pinchus would too. As Sir Pinchus went to the stand, he began to talk. He would continue to say how it's an honor to be in heaven. I will miss dear Charlie, but her sacrifice was not for nothing. I am proof that sinners can be redeemed. This whole genocide doesn't need to happen. Please stop sending exorcists down. Prevent this war before it happens. Save the lives. Heaven would be on board. There were a few extremists who were against it, but there was nothing Sarah could do. True, she could deny it all and veto it, but this would lead to a hell's invasion, and since that wouldn't be too popular, she would lose even more support, and only the most radical angels would follow her in the Civil War, which would just escalate until God himself got involved, and he wouldn't be too happy. He might just destroy heaven and restart everything. After all, God was known for wiping things out and restarting. That was kind of his whole thing, you know, the flood and all that. Sarah would have nothing to do but accept it, as she lifted the ban, and she would also make relations with hell. She would open up a new embassy and try to build a stronger relation between heaven and hell, and she would try to give the Has-Been Hotel a chance. She would also, most importantly, not send down any more exorcists. Lucifer did it. He saved hell, but he couldn't have done it without the sacrifice of his daughter. Charlie was a hero. She gave up her life so every sinner could be free, and they'll never have to live in fear again. Well, at least not from angels. They still lived in fear from each other. And that is where we're going to leave things off. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I don't know how well this video is going to do, because I've only done crossover Has-Been videos. But I love Has-Been Hotel. I finished the entire first season. And the whole reason I can't do a whole series about it is because, well, it's not long enough. But I still want to do a unique what if about it. And this is kind of a test to see how well this will do, to see if I can do more in the future. There's not a lot to go on, since the first season was pretty cut and dry. I only have a few ideas. This was the biggest one. So yeah, once season 2 comes out though, I do think I'll have more ideas and I can continue some crossovers. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed this video. Peace out.